The horse is not just an animal that humans learned to ride. It is an animal that redefined distance, power, and time itself. Before the horse, human movement was slow, limited, and exhausting. Civilizations expanded only as far as legs and rivers allowed. After the horse, continents shrank. Empires stretched. Wars changed shape. Trade accelerated. Cultures collided. The horse did not simply assist humanity. It amplified it. To understand the horse is to understand one of the most successful partnerships in biological and cultural history. Long before saddles, bridles, or domestication, the ancestors of modern horses roamed ancient forests over 50 million years ago. These early equids were small, fox-sized creatures with multiple toes, adapted for soft ground and dense vegetation. Over millions of years, climate shifts transformed forests into grasslands. Survival demanded speed, endurance, and efficiency. Evolution responded with brutal clarity. Multiple toes merged into a single powerful hoof. Legs lengthened. Muscles reorganized for sustained running rather than short bursts. Teeth evolved high crowns capable of grinding abrasive grasses filled with silica. The horse became a creature built not for hiding, but for escape. Speed was survival. Awareness was life. Modern horses possess one of the most refined sensory systems among land mammals. Their eyes are positioned laterally, granting them nearly 350 degrees of vision. This allows them to detect predators long before danger arrives. Their ears rotate independently, tracking sound with radar-like precision. Their nostrils flare wide, pulling in massive volumes of air to fuel oxygen-hungry muscles. But what truly defines the horse is not raw physical ability. It is behavioral intelligence shaped by prey psychology. Horses are not predators. They do not seek conflict. Their minds are tuned to risk assessment, group coordination, and rapid decision-making. Every movement, ear flick, and posture shift communicates information. In the wild, a single startled horse can trigger an entire herd to flee within seconds. This hyper-awareness is not fear. It is evolutionary discipline. Socially, horses live in structured groups, typically led by an experienced mare rather than a dominant male. Stallions protect the group, but leadership belongs to knowledge, not aggression. This system prioritizes survival over ego, a trait humans would later learn to exploit and rely upon. When humans first encountered wild horses, they did not see tools. They saw uncontrollable speed. Early attempts at hunting horses revealed a paradox. Killing them was possible, but catching them alive seemed impossible. Yet somewhere in the Eurasian steppes, humans cracked the code. Domestication did not begin with dominance. It began with trust. Horses that tolerated human proximity survived. Humans who learned horse behavior thrived. Over generations, selective breeding reinforced calm temperaments, endurance, and cooperation. A feedback loop formed. Horses adapted to humans, and humans reshaped their societies around horses. The impact was immediate and irreversible. Mounted humans could travel farther in days than others could in weeks. Warfare transformed as cavalry units dominated battlefields. Agriculture accelerated as horses replaced oxen in plowing and transport. Communication networks expanded. Empires rose not just through strategy, but through mobility. Yet the horse never lost its instincts. Even today, beneath the saddle and training lies the same prey animal, scanning horizons, reading movement, and reacting faster than conscious thought. A horse does not forget what it is. It simply learns to coexist with humans without abandoning its nature. This balance, between fear and trust, power and restraint, defines the horse more than any muscle or bone. And this is only the beginning of its story. As human societies grew more complex, the role of the horse expanded far beyond transportation or labor. The horse became a multiplier of human intention. Wherever humans dreamed of speed, control, dominance, or expansion, the horse stood at the center of that dream. In warfare, the horse did not merely carry soldiers. It reshaped strategy, psychology, and the very geography of power. Infantry armies that once relied on formation and terrain found themselves vulnerable to speed and shock. Cavalry units could strike fast, retreat, regroup, and strike again. The battlefield became fluid, unpredictable, and terrifying. The sound of hooves alone was enough to break morale. From the Mongol Empire to medieval Europe, from Arabian deserts to Asian steppes, mounted warfare created empires that would have been impossible on foot. The Mongols, in particular, demonstrated what happens when human discipline fully synchronizes with equine endurance. Each warrior managed multiple horses, switching mounts to maintain relentless momentum. Entire continents were crossed with unprecedented speed. Cities fell not only to weapons, but to exhaustion and psychological collapse. Yet even in war, the horse was not a mindless instrument. Horses learned routines, formations, and the emotional states of their riders. They responded to pressure, balance, and subtle cues. A skilled rider could guide a horse with barely visible movement. This silent communication created a bond that bordered on symbiosis. Beyond war, horses reshaped economies. Agriculture transformed as horses replaced slower draft animals in many regions. Fields expanded, trade routes lengthened, markets grew. Entire professions emerged around breeding, training, and caring for horses. Societies that mastered equine management gained economic leverage over those that did not. Different environments produced different horses. In the harsh deserts of the Middle East, Arabian horses evolved and were selectively bred for endurance, intelligence, and heat tolerance. Their lighter frames and efficient respiration allowed them to travel vast distances with minimal water. In colder northern regions, heavier breeds emerged, capable of pulling immense loads through mud, snow, and uneven terrain. On open plains, speed-oriented breeds developed, optimized for pursuit and communication. Each horse reflected the land and culture that shaped it. But what truly elevated the horse above other domesticated animals was emotional intelligence. Horses are highly sensitive to human emotion. They detect tension, fear, confidence, and calm through posture, breathing, and micro-movements. This sensitivity made them difficult to control through force alone. Fear-based training produced unpredictable and dangerous animals. Trust-based training produced reliability, cooperation, and extraordinary performance. Modern research confirms what riders have known for centuries. Horses can recognize individual humans, remember past interactions, and form long-term associations. They are capable of learning complex patterns, responding to abstract cues, and adapting to new environments faster than many mammals. This intelligence, however, comes at a cost. Because horses evolved as prey animals, stress affects them deeply. Prolonged confinement, isolation, or harsh treatment can lead to behavioral breakdowns. Stereotypic behaviors such as pacing, biting, or withdrawal are not signs of stupidity, they are signs of psychological overload. The horse thrives on movement, social contact, and clarity. As industrialization advanced, the role of the horse began to shrink. Machines replaced muscle, engines replaced endurance, roads replaced trails. For the first time in thousands of years, humans no longer depended on horses for survival. This shift was rapid and brutal. Millions of horses were abandoned, slaughtered, or reduced to ceremonial roles. The animal that built empires found itself sidelined by steel and fuel. Yet something curious happened. The horse did not disappear from human consciousness. Instead, its meaning changed. Horses became symbols of freedom, power, grace, nostalgia, and lost connection. They moved from streets to fields, from factories to sport, from necessity to choice. Riding became recreation. Horses became companions rather than tools. Still, the ancient instincts remain. A modern horse grazing quietly carries the same sensory systems, reflexes, and survival programming as its wild ancestors. It still reads the world through movement and space. It still reacts faster than conscious thought. And it still offers trust, conditionally. The human-horse relationship is one of responsibility. Unlike machines, horses cannot be switched off. They feel pain, fear, comfort, and safety. They respond to leadership, not domination. Every interaction reinforces or damages the bond built over thousands of years. In many ways, how humans treat horses reflects how they understand power itself. Power can be forced, or it can be earned. The horse teaches this lesson silently. A rider who relies on strength alone will never fully control a horse. A rider who earns trust can guide 1,000 kilograms of muscle with a whisper. This is why the horse endures in culture, art, and imagination. It represents not just speed or strength, but cooperation between species. A rare example of dominance achieved through mutual adaptation rather than destruction. In the wild, horses still roam, fewer in number, but unchanged in essence. In human society, they persist as reminders of a time when progress depended on living beings rather than machines. The horse is not obsolete. It is foundational. Every road, border, and empire carries hoofprints beneath its surface. Every acceleration of history echoes with the rhythm of galloping legs. Human civilization did not walk into the modern world. It rode.